Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. The 8th Chilliwack City Council was sworn in with one new face in the lineup. Chilliwack and District Seniors Resource Society, their Christmas Seniors Stocking Fundraiser Drive is coming up next week. Yes, it's another time change, and no, don't expect permanent daylight saving time anytime soon. And local high school football controversy. Josh will have more in sports. Our special guests this week include the Chilliwack and District Seniors Resources Society Executive Director Kelly Velonis and the new City Councillor Nicole Huitema. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started in our top story. The Chilliwack and District Senior Resources Society, their Christmas Senior Stocking Fundraiser Drive is coming up next Tuesday, November the 8th. It'll be at Evergreen Hall from 8 to 10 in the morning. The Society now taking donations, both in gifts and cash. This will aid to fill Christmas hampers and stockings. The Executive Director, Kelly Velonis, will be joining us in a few minutes with an update. And still with Christmas, I've been told it's okay because Halloween is over. The City of Chilliwack's Rotary Christmas Parade, presented by Mountainview Harley-Davidson and Mountainview Motorsports, is back this year. We haven't had the parade since 2019 because of COVID, so all the parties involved are rather thrilled to be able to bring back this holiday event after 3 years of hibernation. It is set to premiere Saturday, December the 3rd, 5:30 in the afternoon. And if you're not able to make it down to see the new route through downtown, you can enjoy it from the comfort of your smart TV or smartphone with the chillTV live stream starting at 5 o'clock that night. And watch our hosts, Trevor McDonald and Sandra Bonner-Pedersen, and a number of surprise guests bringing you the play-by-play on the float-by-float. That should be a ton of fun. And as was announced earlier in the week, unfortunately, Vancouver not able to muster enough sponsorship support to be able to host a parade this year. We therefore like to gratefully thank all the sponsors that have lined up this year. Oh, and yet again, still with Christmas. Hey, don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. Fasten your seatbelts for the return of a holiday classic. It's the 2022 Rotary Christmas Show presented by Prospera Credit Union. Originally started because of the pandemic and in lieu of the Rotary Parade, the huge success of the past couple of years has brought the return of a family fun Christmas variety program showcasing local talent from amateurs to professionals in music, comedy, dance, and drama. You can watch it premiere on November the 24th, which is Black Friday Eve on chillTV. That'll be 7 o'clock, and then all month long until Christmas. The skyrocketing cost of food and housing is leading to longer than ever lineups at the food bank and the soup kitchen run by the Salvation Army. Don Armstrong, the coordinator of the Chilliwack Food Bank at Salvation Army on Yale Road, telling chillTV they are serving 3 times the number that we saw last year. The count in September alone, 5,000 people served, and expecting more for October numbers. Whereas in previous years, the numbers were more like 2,500 to 3,000. Armstrong said that Abbotsford numbers have also grown by leaps and bounds, and they need donations right now, not in December. Gentlemen, start your stashes. Movember fundraisers are back. The projects raise awareness in mental health and suicide prevention, as well as prostate and testicular cancer. Now, all you have to do is Google Movember Canada or movember.ca for more information. Chilliwack City Council were sworn in at the ceremony at the Chilliwack Cultural Center this past week. The new school board will have their own swearing-in ceremony Monday, November the 7th. That meeting's a 4 o'clock start. That will be live streamed only, as there's just not enough room to accommodate a large gathering. Now, many eyes this past week were on the rookie councillor, Nicole Huitema. After the swearing-in ceremony, chillTV asked Ms. Reid about her first appointment. It's a natural, considering her business background, liaison to SEPCO, the business arm of the city.
Yeah, community economic development is a really important piece to what I do, and it's something that's extremely valuable for our city. So I'm looking forward to being able to sit at the table with all the other economic developers and city members that want to see our community grow.
And now you can breathe.
And now I can breathe.
But for the next 4 years, you're not going to see much of your family. You know, may it be, as Paula Henderson said of the progress when it comes to school board, may it be dull.
Yeah.
As opposed to the last 4 years. Congrats.
Thank you.
The Harrison-Agassiz Chamber of Commerce AGM is coming up Wednesday, November the 16th. Now, tickets are free for chamber members and $10 for non-members. The meeting itself will be at the Fraser River Lodge. There are special rates if you want to stay the night after mingling and doing some networking. From playing in the clay from the Chilliwack River Valley to making a living with her art, Chilliwack's Kathy Terapaki is only one of 4 BC winners for the 2022 Carter Wask Applied Art and Design Award. Now, in October, the BC Achievement Foundation announced the recipients of the 18th Annual Applied Art and Design Award, and only one came from the Valley. Interesting sidebar to Kathy, one of the upsides from last year's flooding in the Valley was the exposure of some great working clay, and she made the most of it, harvesting a ton of it for her creations. Island 22 remains open. However, as of October the 30th, the gatehouse is closed for the season, so that means admission to the park is free. But remember, gates close at sunset, so with the upcoming time change, that means a 5 o'clock closure. The Fraser River, and in particular the heart of the Fraser, located between Hope and Mission, is the most endangered river in the province. That according to the 100,000-member Outdoor Recreation Council of British Columbia. Mark Angelo is the river's chair and founder of both the BC and World Rivers Day, saying that most of the critical fish habitat in the lower Fraser has already been lost to diking and industrial development. So it is essential to protect what remains, especially within the heart of the Fraser. Chilliwack Visual Artists Association, their latest show is called Wings, Symbols, and Myths. It's on now until December the 10th, and they have billed the show as, and I quote, prominent in many myths are winged creatures. As a symbol, wings represent the ability to soar and reach heights otherwise unattainable. A powerful symbol, wings have been used to indicate success, aspiration, purity, and freedom. The show is at the O'Connor Gallery in the Chilliwack Cultural Center. Getting it right on the wrong side of town, Tom Lavin and the legendary Powder Blues Band are coming back to the WAC. The show is Saturday, December the 3rd at the Chilliwack Cultural Center. Now, the last time they played Chilliwack was 2016 at the Blues Night at the Chilliwack Fair and 2015 at the Cultural Center. Tickets are available through the Cultural Center box office. And we've already mentioned this, it is time to fall back to standard time. Now, yes, the U.S. Senate approved a bill to go to permanent daylight saving time next year, November 2023. The difference in rules is that the change in the states has to be federal, but some states may opt in, they may opt out. Now in Canada, provinces decide on their own. But there's still no word yet if the new premier-to-be, David Eby, will push for the change. For now, Saturday night or Sunday morning, the clocks go back 1 hour. After the break, my interview with Kelly Velonis, and still to come, Josh and Cari, and the weekend outlook for weather. Say it isn't snow, please. chillTV's News of the Week continuing with a conversation with the Executive Director of the Chilliwack and District Seniors Resources Society, Kelly Velonis. It is a really cool project that you have coming up, and that is helping out the seniors. It's a drive-through. Tell us all about it.
Oh, yeah, great. Thanks, Don. What we're doing on Tuesday, November 8th from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. out in the front parking lot at Evergreen Hall, in partnership with Chartwell, is we're having a drive-through. Come on, grab a muffin and a coffee on us, and please give a donation for our stocking program. Our stocking program is for low-income seniors who, without receiving a stocking this year, might not receive anything from anybody. Most of them have no family in the community and are alone. So this project has grown from probably when it started about 50 stockings to we're thinking about 250 stockings this year.
The need for senior resources seems to be growing exponentially. I just had a recent conversation with Don Armstrong at the Salvation Army. He was talking about food security for seniors. What are you seeing for the needs that your organization is dealing with? Because obviously Salvation Army and the food bank and such, they're not the only ones. You're seeing it front line.
No, absolutely. And we work in close partnership with them for grocery hampers for seniors, as well as providing hampers on our own for fresh produce. And all of that comes in the way of donations and by sponsorship within the community. The needs right now, post-COVID, during COVID, have just been unbelievable, and the growth that we see seniors in our community that really are struggling to make that choice between, do I pay my rent? Do I buy groceries? Can I afford to maybe pay for hydro, or do I choose to have cable? These are choices that anybody should have to make. And we're seeing more and more with prices going up, especially food cost, rent, gas, that they have to make these choices. So our goal is to make sure that we let these seniors in our community know that we're thinking about them, that the community's behind them, and just to give them that little extra special, hey, somebody cares about you on Christmas. Last year, we partnered with many of the hockey teams in Chilliwack, and it was a great intergenerational. The teams went out and delivered these stockings. A lot of the seniors have no idea this is coming. They get referred to us by many people in the community, by other agencies, and the joy that it brings is worth all the work that's put into it, for sure.
You brought up a very good point too, with seniors just being able to communicate. We take this for granted, but for a senior, that's their lifeline, or talking to the grandkids, talking to their kids, and that, do I have this connected? Do I eat? Do I pay rent? You brought up some very good points. What exactly do you need now? Do you need clothing, food donations, a little bit of everything?
So our main goal is to have people, cash is great because we can always make big purchases, which goes further. Yeah. Saying that, there's lots of items that we put into our stockings: toiletries, mitts, toques, these little boxes of chocolates, something a little extra, little special teas, anything that you would put into a stocking for somebody that would make them feel special is what we're trying to achieve here, as well as fill those basic necessities. Sometimes people are not purchasing any of those toiletries unless they're given them as a gift. We also will have a food drive there as well. So anybody that wants to bring any canned goods or a box food, we definitely will put that into our seniors' Christmas food hamper as well.
Now, to get a hold of you, if somebody wants more information, I would assume you're all over social media.
We are. We have a Facebook page, as well as we have our website, and it's very easy. It's cdsrs.ca. You can call the office at 604-793-9979. You can email me directly at director@cdsrs, and you can phone me at 604-799-9055.
Kelly Velonis, the Executive Director of Chilliwack and District Seniors Resources. Again, a big thank you, and hopefully you'll be overflowing, and that's just a good sign. And we will talk again very, very soon. Thanks again.
Thanks, Don.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week.
Welcome back to sports, everyone. It's Josh here with you once again. Good to be back as a full person today. All right, enough chit chat. Let's jump into sports for today. Starting with football, as we often have this time of year. The Sardis Falcons and the GW Graham Grizzlies are a tale of two high school football programs going in different directions. The Falcons failed to fly against the Mount Boucherie Senior Secondary School from West Kelowna this weekend, losing 36-16 as a sad, appropriate drizzle came down over Exhibition Stadium. This came just days after Sardis football had a visit and pep talk from Bo Lacombo of the BC Lions, but evidently it didn't do much good. While the Falcons remain winless, the GW Graham Grizzlies football team had no issues over the weekend, winning 48-16 over the Mowat Hawks at Exhibition Stadium as well. The players' moms, aka the Mama Bears, see what they did there, were also honored at the game. Now, with the win, the Grizzlies have earned a first-round bye in the AAA playoffs, but that doesn't mean people weren't excited about the final game of the regular season, which was going to be an all-Chilliwack showdown between the Grizzlies and the Falcons this Friday night. Except that this past Sunday, Sardis forfeited the game, citing some of the players' parents' concerns that they would not actually be able to field a competitive team versus the Grizzlies, who are, of course, one of the top teams in the country. But at the same time, some argue that it deprives the grade 12s of the opportunity to play their last game of high school football, and it might even be the last game of some of their football careers. So it's a disappointment for everyone involved, but if there is a silver lining, it gives GW an extra week to prepare for their upcoming playoff games, which will begin later this month, and I think they'll be looking for a deep run just like last year. While the Valley Huskers were out of the junior football playoffs after the first round, the Okanagan Sun steamrolled everyone on their way to victory in the Cullen Cup and thus won the BCFC Championship. But they didn't have much time to celebrate, as they quickly shipped out for a trip back east to play the St. Clair Saints. The Sun jumped out to a quick 21-0 lead in the first half, and the Saints made a strong push in the third quarter. There was really no denying the Sun, as they won 42-24 to advance the Canadian Football League's Canadian Bowl Championship game. So now they're going to travel back out west to Saskatchewan to face the Regina Thunder on November 12th for national bragging rights. The Thunder beat the Saskatoon Hilltops for the Prairie Conference Championship with a 39-21 victory, so we'll see how the Sun do. On the NFL's trade deadline day, the Chicago Bears traded for Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver and Abbotsford senior grad Chase Claypool in exchange for a 2023 second-round pick. Unfortunately, Claypool has had a bit of a disappointing season so far for Steel Curtain, as he struggled to adjust to his new role as a slot receiver. But I think he's looking up because he's expected to gain a lot more reps with the Bears offense that could use a bit of a jolt. How long has it been since the Bears had a decent offense? Jay Cutler in 2010? Just feels like the Bears have had a terrible offense for like 40 years. Anyways, good luck to you, Clay, in your new home in Chicago. Taylor Richardson drilled home the equalizer for the UFV Cascades men's soccer team to force extra time, but it was the Mount Royal Cougars who came out on top 2-1 in the Canada West quarterfinal. The defeat sees the Cascades Canada West season come to an end, while the U Sports number 9 ranked Cougars will move on to play in the Canada West Final Four. Now, it may seem out of season, but the greatest sporting show on earth is just around the corner, and I'm very excited with the FIFA World Cup from Qatar beginning later this month. And the provincial government has granted bars and pubs in BC permission to temporarily extend their operating hours during the event, giving fans extra time at the venue of their choice to watch Canadians men's national team compete during the late and early morning hours, or honestly, whatever team they happen to be watching. Welcome to the World Cup. Well, there will be no change to the hours of liquor sales and service. Bars, pubs, and restaurants will be able to remain open for their patrons and serve non-alcoholic beverages during the extended hours. Due to the extreme summertime heat in Qatar, this is the first time the World Cup will be held in winter, beginning on November 20th and running through to December 18th. The 10-hour time difference means that a lot of the games are going to be held in the early morning hours here in BC, and expanded hours like this in the hospitality sector are actually nothing new. They've been granted in the past for other international sporting events, such as the Vancouver 2010 Olympics and the 2015 Rugby World Cup. Lisa Baer, the Minister of Tourism, Arts, Culture, and Sport, shot down any hope for the 2030 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games being held in BC, saying, quote, "There are billions of dollars in direct costs and potential guarantee and indemnity liability risks on this project that could jeopardize our government's ability to address pressures facing British Columbians right now. Based on careful consideration, the province is declining to support a bid," end quote. The bid was supposed to be led by BC's Indigenous groups, but in the end, it was determined that the cost of the games in this day and age just didn't justify the bills. And so while public opinion has definitely been split on this, there are those who are really disappointed, but I want to give you a bit of hope because the 2026 World Cup, as you can remember, is going to be coming to North America, and Vancouver is one of the host cities. It's likely that they're going to be hosting 4 to 5 games over the course of a tournament. So if you are disappointed, you've got that to look forward to. All right, that's all we've got for sports today, everyone. Thank you as always for tuning in. We will see you next week.
chillTV weekend weather with Cari Moore. Now, Cari, we should warn viewers that you're about to use a 4-letter word, although for some it might be welcomed.
Yes, Don, there is indeed a chance of S-N-O-W, snow. Flurries have been forecasted for this weekend. Although we'll maybe only see a few flakes in the Upper Fraser Valley, the Coquihalla and Connector will be a mess. A reminder that snow tires are a requirement from the beginning of October until the end of March for both of these routes. The highs of 7 and lows near freezing will be a shock to my system, considering I was swimming in my pool less than 2 weeks ago. Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and I'll top off the wiper fluid in my old beater. And again, a reminder that standard time starts this weekend. Clocks go back 1 hour, either late Saturday night or early Sunday morning. Take your pick. It is an extra hour of sleep. And yes, once again, the debate on keeping daylight saving time will be up on social media. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. Again, remember the clocks. I'm Don.